Hello my dear children. So today the chapter that we will be doing for our literature class is Feathered Friends. This is by Arthur Charles Clarke, who was born in England in 1917. You can go through that in page 79. See, he usually writes all fiction kind of stories. Okay, and he is a writer as well as he is an inventor. He is famous for his short stories and various novels. There are several published stories done by him like Loophole and Astounding Science Fiction. Usually he writes fiction, and this story also is basically about a space life. Okay. So his works reflect a positive attitude towards the exploration of space aided by science. He usually focuses on like scientific things. Okay. So here the story, the first title of the story itself is Feathered Friend. Feathered means here friend, but a friend, not a human, but it's a friend, a bird. So okay, this is what we will be talking about in this story. So let's go through. A feathered friend is a bird. How is it a friend? Let us know, find out. Yes, I said a feathered friend actually is symbolizing a bird. Okay. So to the best of my knowledge, there has never been a regulation that forbids one to keep pets in a space station. Even that such a rule existed, I am quite certain that Van Oslin would have ignored it. Okay. So one character, Van Oslin, is the person, Olsen, sorry. So he also, these I said this is a life where we are talking about not on earth, it's a space. Okay. So there is a small area, there is a small a kind of people dwelling all together in space, just like we stay in the earth. Similarly, there is also a life in space. Okay. So they were all living together, and it is never said that we are not to keep any pets in this space. It is not mentioned in any of the story, in any of the book, or it is not a law or something like that. So, and here I is the poet, I is the writer himself, that means Arthur, okay, Arthur Charles. So, he is telling that even if this statement would be made correct, this would definitely be not accepted by Van Olsen, because he is the one who keeps this pet. Okay. So, do not ask me why Van wanted a pet or why he chose the one he did. I am not a psychologist, but the reason why this Van Olsen wanted a pet was not known by the poets. Okay. That means not asking us not to put a question on why he liked pet. That answer is not answerable even by the writer. Okay. So, but I must admit that his selection was very sensible, but his choice of taking a pet was a very sensible thing. Okay, very meaningful one. So, Claribel waited practically nothing. Her food requirements were infinitesimal. So, that means his food, this Claribel is name of the bird. Okay. So, this bird was very much friendly, as well as the bird had very less of food to be given. That means very much quite comfortable for them to keep him, because he is not in the ground, he is not in the earth. No, she is not in the earth. So, she is kept in the space. So, there she has to adjust with the things that is found in the space. Okay. So, ate very less, meager, very small quantity of food. Usually it was eaten. So, and she was not worried, as almost animals would have been, by the absence of gravity. Yes. So, there is a lack of gravity in space, but this bird did not accept. That means it seemed like the bird was adjusting in that kind of phenomena. Okay. Was very much fine with because that life is different than what we are dwelling out here. Very, very different. Everything is different there. So, I first became aware that Claribel I was aboard when I was sitting in the little cubbyhole laughingly called my office. So, cubbyhole means a small area, okay, where this writer considered that place to be his office, small area. okay, in the space itself. So, checking through my list of technical stores to decide what items would be running out of next. That means they were all looking what are the things required and what are the things that got out of stock. So, we have to make a list and then maybe arranging things, okay, that was done. When I heard a musical whistle beside my ear, I assumed that it came over the station intercom. They thought that there is an announcement in the station intercom and all, no, that intercom that you are using, that telephone kind of thing that they were using. He was thinking that the sound is coming from there, okay. So, I assumed, okay. So, there was a long and involved pattern of melody that made me look up with such a start that I forgot all about the angle beam just behind my head. When the stars had ceased to explode before my eyes, I had my first view of Claribel. So, he was just peeping out of that space to see what is exactly that is making that noise, okay, because it was very melodious bird, no. So, it was very melodious and he was just peeping out, they were all full of stars because they are in the space, all that universe was clearly seen, no. So, they were all of a sudden what happened, he sees there is a bird, finally that view of the bird, first appearance of the Claribel, okay, I will name Claribel is the bird. So, that is seen, Claribel. She was a small yellow canary. Canary means canary is a kind of a special bird which is very much special because it has a very much a different character. So, that character will be coming at the end, knowing at the end, okay. So, she has a small yellow color, hanging in the air as motionless as a hummingbird and with much less effort, for her wings were quite folded along her sides. See, this bird, usually the birds has the like altitude of flying, but this bird flies to the space. That means this bird is really very much special, okay. So, we stared at each other for a minute. So, we is here the bird and the writer. Then before I had quite recovered my wits, she did a curious kind of backward loop and departed with a few leisurely flicks. All of a sudden the bird disappeared. Now, it was obvious that she would already learned how to operate in the absence of gravity and did not believe in doing unnecessary work. That means this bird is so experienced, okay, whereas there is no gravity, there is no air at all. So, how to fly here, this is so much known by the bird, experienced, okay. So, when didn't confess to her ownership for several days, and by that time it no longer mattered because Claribel was a general pet. So, Wen is the character, okay, who also stays in the space. So, these bird is also seen by Wen, okay, Wen Olsen, but he did not consider this bird to be his pet because it was general. That means it was flying and going here and there. So, they not kept in the cage, were not kept as captive, he was flying in the space out. Okay. So, he had smuggled her up at the last ferry from earth. When she came back from leave, partly he claimed out of sheer scientific curiosity. He wanted to see just how a bird would operate when he had no weight, but could still use its wings. Actually, this bird had come from the earth, okay. So, this was brought up to the space to see how, if there is lack of gravity, how this bird will try to like live on space and how it will use up his wings to fly. That in order to see that, no, he bought that, okay. So, Claribel tripped and grew fat. So, now Claribel is very healthy, became very healthy there, staying in that along with them, and grew fat also, okay. On the whole, we had little trouble concealing our unauthorized guest. Unauthorized guest is this Claribel. Guest from VIPs from earth came visiting. So, that time it was little bit it was difficult for them, okay, when there were people who visited them from earth. So, people were going from earth to space also to visit. A space station had more hiding places than you can count. On that place, that time when these people from earth used to go there to visit them, no, that time this bird used to hide somewhere in that space. Okay. The only problem was that Claribel got rather noisy when she was upset, and we sometimes had to think fast to explain the curious peeps and whistles that came from shafts and storage places. And then what happened when you usually there was no problem keeping this pet at all, because it ate very less and was very much friendly in that atmosphere. Okay. As well as the only problem was usually when this bird used to get very upset and when used to get very angry sometimes, then she used to make lot of noise and crying, chirping and all lot of things. Okay. That time it was very little bit like difficult for them to handle. We were now on 12 hours watches. So, it was almost 12 hours passed by, which was as bad as it sounds, since you need little sleep in space. Now unable to sleep because of the bird. Okay, they were unable to sleep also, there is no sleep, and there is sleep, though it is a space where the day and night is all similar, everywhere is light. Though of course there is no day or night when you are floating in permanent sunlight, yes, it was still convenient to stick to the terms, but definitely you will feel sleepy at the end of the day, because you get tired of the tireless walk, and that is obvious when you feel sleepy. Certainly when I woke up that morning, it felt like 6 a.m. on earth. So, the next day it was 6 a.m. on earth, like accuracy found out, like if they will match up with the timing. So, on earth it was 6, similarly it is just matching up with the timing that is found in the earth. So, I had a nagging headache. That time what happened? I is the poet, writer, sorry, Charles. Charles is getting a very much like a strong pain in his head, and a vague memories of fitful disturbed sleep, and he felt like something his sleep was not good, he did not see a proper dreams and all, no, he was a very much disturbed kind of sleep. So, it took me ages to undergo my bunk straps, and I was still only half awake when I joined the remainder of the duty crew in the mess. So, and he woke up in such a state, where he was all disturbed throughout the night. He felt there was lot of havoc, there is lot of chaos inside when he is sleeping, or it is day when he is dreaming or what. He was unable to, there is lot of mess in the crew. Okay. So, breakfast was unusually quiet, and there was one seat vacant for now they are having breakfast, but they saw that one seat was like vacant, that means somebody was missing there, that was Ven Olsen, he is missing. So, where is Ven, I asked. So, Charles asking, where is Ven? He is looking for Claribel. Someone answered, says, we can't find her anywhere, she usually wakes him up. So, usually Ven was woke up by this bird Claribel, but that time that bird was missing. So, in order to search the bird, so Ven also had gone somewhere. So, before I could retort that she usually woke me up too, Ven came in through the doorway, and we could see at once that something was wrong. Okay. So, even that bird used to wake up the whole people in the crew, okay, inside the space, everybody. They were all chirping of the bird, usually brings everybody into get up, no. So, similarly when he was also about to feel, yes, what is wrong with the bird, because the bird did not chirp, the bird is not making any kind of melodious voice, it is not heard only. So, what we could see, this Ven enters. He slowly opened his hand, and they were lying a tiny bundle of yellow feathers, and he just opened the door of the space, and he was what he was holding is lot of bundles of yellow feathers, and with two clenched claws striking pathetically up into the air, and those two legs were up in the air. It seemed like the bird has died or somewhere. Okay, that was the bird. What happened? We asked, all equally distressed. I don't know, said Ven mournfully. I just found her like this. So, the bird, Ven is asking, I don't know what has happened, but I found the bird into this condition. Okay. So, then let us have a look at her, said Jock Duncan, our cook, doctor, dietitian. We all waited in hushed silence while we held Claribel against her ear in an attempt to detect any heartbeats. So, now they are about to find out whether the bird is alive or not. Okay, and they are trying to detect in there is inside any heartbeat or the bird is still there is a chances of survival or not. So, they are trying their best. Okay. So, what happened next we will be doing in our next video children. Thank you so much.